Welcome to Your4State.com's Medical Corner. I'm Lynn Lawson. Right now we're joined by Dr. Dan Michaels of the Reconstructive Foot and Ankle Institute, and he's our specialist on foot and ankle conditions. Nice to have you, Dr. Michaels.
Thank you, Lynn.
And our first question for you, what is IPK?
Well, IPK stands for intractable plantar keratoma, so it's just easier to say IPK and be done with it. But it's a callus, or it's like a clogged sweat gland, or it's a callus that grows deep into the skin. So like a normal callus you'd have, it's fairly diffuse, it's kind of wide, it's kind of thin, and it's on the outside of your skin, and you just kind of use a pumice stone and shave it down and it goes away. But an IPK, it doesn't work. It's actually quite small, and there's a core to it, or a root, and it goes really deep into the skin, almost full thickness. And so it can be very painful. Actually, for its size, it's the most painful thing in the foot and ankle.
And how do you treat IPK?
Well, IPKs can be treated numerous ways. They're caused by friction or shear forces, and bone underneath the skin causing too much pressure, kind of like a callus, but it's different. You know, it grows so deep in, you can't really treat it like a callus. You can shave it down or use a pumice stone to shave it down, but there's still going to be that root in there. So oftentimes what we do is we use a chemical called cantharone, and this is actually an extract from a South American blistering beetle. And you take this beetle juice and you put it on the IPK, and you put a Band-Aid over it and you leave it on for 24 hours. And that causes a blister to form, and so that takes out that root, and so the IPK goes away. Now it may take 1 to 3 applications, and most of the time that's all you need to do and it goes away, but sometimes it doesn't. And you have to then think about what else to do. Sometimes you can do a biopsy where you take a 3mm punch biopsy and you take out that core and you send that off to pathology to make sure it is just an IPK. And oftentimes it comes back something related to a wart. So there is a little bit of like a callus-wart combination with this. Oftentimes that's enough to take care of it, and sometimes occasionally it doesn't, and you have to have a surgical procedure done, and we would have to modify the bone underneath the IPK so there's not so much pressure in that area. But that's always the last step. Oftentimes we can take that pressure off with a change in shoe gear or orthotic device, a custom shoe insert that can go and redistribute the pressure on the foot so you don't have that pressure. So an IPK is a callus that kind of grows deep into the skin that you can't get rid of with a pumice stone. And it's the most painful thing for its size in the foot. And it's easily treated in the office. 98% of the time, 99% of the time, we can get rid of these things without doing anything invasive or any surgery.
Thanks so much, Dr. Michaels. Again, that was Dr. Dan Michaels of the Reconstructive Foot and Ankle Institute. And don't forget, you can find more information on foot and ankle conditions only here on Your4State.com.